Hi friends, in today's video I'll talk about a unique attribute which I feel makes a big difference into where people reach in life. Now the context to today's video is a question that a student asked me recently. He said, sir, when I was in school I was able to do very well, but ever since I've gotten into my medical school in my college, my performance I feel is going down and I'm not doing as well as I could do in the school. What do you think is the possible reason? So I, asked him that, what is your schedule? And I found that his schedule is more chaotic. It is like more random today. And I explained to him why it is happening. Now, we all have to understand when we are in a school like environment, we have a forced upon discipline with us. That force upon discipline means that you are in an environment where your parents and your teachers, they are responsible for you. You are a child and a kid, and you have teachers and parents responsible for you. So these responsible adults, they help you maintain discipline by forcing it upon you. They will tell that, but they will say, kid, I want you to study, I want you to study. If you don't study, this is not right. And due to their constant push, children who are good at studies with that forced upon discipline, they end up doing very well. Now here comes the entry into the college. College is your entry into freedom. This is the time where suddenly, especially medical students, where you're getting into a field like medicine, people will start perceiving you as adults. Although you may not have grown that old, I know that, but people will start perceiving you as adults. Now what happens is, that forced upon discipline starts to disappear. The teachers no longer force it upon you, neither do parents. Now parents would say, now the child has already is so grown up, they will not force it upon you. Now what happens is, many people, when they reach this stage, they lose the path. Now what is happening is, they were always, they were good students, they were good, but they were always under a forced discipline environment. Now that discipline goes. Now what happens is, the entire thing becomes chaotic. And then sometimes, because they are not putting that kind of effort that they were putting because of the discipline, because of the lack of the discipline, now their performance goes down. And because of that performance going down, they hit a negative in reinforcement. They don't enjoy what they're doing now, and their performance further goes down. This is where I would like to introduce to you a self-discipline tool, which I often talk about in my classes and my lectures. That why don't you create a checklist for your own self? Why don't you kind of create a list of activities that you want to do in this week, and then when you finish them, please put a tick mark, and let's get enforce that self-discipline onto you. Now the word that I wanted to bring to each one of your notice today was discipline. Discipline is something which is underrated, not very often talked about. It does not sound as glamorous as passion would do. So people don't really talk about it. People will say that it is the passion that makes the difference in where you reach in life. But what about people who are at equal level of talent, equal level of passion? Then who is the one who's going to do well in life? That is where discipline hits you. Now, let me give you an example of a very famous cricketing history in our own country. Like, we all know about the god of Indian cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. But how many of you know about Vinod Kambli? He started at the same time as Sachin Tendulkar. And probably Sachin was the one who was more disciplined, more consistent, and he ended up making history. But when they started, many people had actually put their bet on Vinod Kambli. When they started, many people said that Vinod Kambli, being a left-hander, would make a legendary cricketer. But in the end, the more disciplined Sachin Tendulkar ended up being what he is today, the greatest cricketer of all times. So, there is an element that people don't talk about. People will talk about talent, passion, energy, and everything. But I would like to tell you here, there is an element of discipline also that would help you to consistently maintain that rhythm that will help you to fulfill your personal legend that you are destined to do. I wish you all the best. If you enjoy this video, do write back to me in the comment section. Thank you.